Hi. Meetings or small talks. I tried to converse with them, but I always end up feeling left out because I don't speak their language.
I have the experience, I know I am capable, but I am not a male, therefore, I cannot lead.
I was just looking over my benefits and I think I can take the day off soon. I can only go back home every few years as my benefits are lesser than the local workers.
Though we are fresh grads, we are fast learners. We have the ability to work.
But they called us useless, that we lack experience, and not trusting us to do any proper work. Discrimination is unjustly or unfairly denying equal treatment or opportunity to individuals, or groups with respect to the terms, conditions, or privileges of employment based on any of the characteristics that can include, but not limited to race, color, ethnicity, national origin, age, religion, sex, pregnancy or related medical conditions, gender identity, family or marital status, nationality, citizenship, ancestry, political opinion, social origin, and/or disability. But the above is not an exhaustive list, as it is impossible to list all the circumstances. In regards to hiring, firing, promoting, disciplining, scheduling, training, or deciding how to compensate an individual or group, discrimination at the workplace has been a growing concern at the national, regional, and international levels. Article 1 of the International Labour Organization Convention No. 111 describes discrimination at the workplace as any distinction, exclusion, or preference made on the basis of race, color, sex, religion, political opinion, national extraction or social origin, which has the effect of nullifying or impairing equality of opportunity or treatment in employment or occupation. Effective 1 January 2023, the amendments to the Employment Act 1955 provide greater protection against discrimination at the workplace under multiple sections, such as, Section 69F states, employers who commit an offence shall, on conviction, be liable to a fine not exceeding 50,000 ringgit. In the case of a continuing offence, be liable to a daily fine not exceeding 1,000 ringgit for each day the offence continues after conviction. Section 37(4) protects pregnant female employees from being terminated. Section 41A restricts termination of a female employee who is pregnant or is suffering from an illness arising out of a pregnancy. Other than that, we also have the Industrial Relations Act 1967 that aims to promote and maintain industrial harmony, and provide regulation of the relations between employers and workmen, both women and man, and their trade unions. With all these in hand, the Malaysian government is ensuring protection against discrimination in all workplaces. But what can an employer do to protect all from all forms of discrimination? We can start by implementing a policy on eliminating discrimination in the world of work. And with the policy, we can ensure a healthier and safer workplace environment that is free from all forms of discrimination. The policy should include all employees, women and men, in the company, regardless of position, including full-time, part-time, casual or temporary staff, all individuals who attend at the company workplace, including but not limited to stakeholders, suppliers, vendors, external contractors, consultants, partners, visitors, and other parties engaged by the company. Include people who are in contract, commission workers, apprentices, interns as well, all aspects of employment practices, recruitment and selection and promotions, conditions and benefits, access to training and employment opportunities, remuneration for work of equal value, task allocation, shifts, hours, leave arrangements, workload, equipment and transport, at work-related functions, including social functions and celebrations, while on trips and attending conferences, whenever and wherever staff may be as a result of their duties. It includes staff treatment of other staff, of clients, and other members of the public encountered in the course of their duties. All means of communication, including email and other electronic communication channels. What can the management and HR department do to make sure the policy is fully implemented? Ensure all employees are aware and familiar with the policy by posting the policy in prominent places at the workplace and on their website. They should also ensure that the policy is communicated and integrated in company procurement forms to contractors, customers, and other persons who attend to the company workplace. Establish a process for reporting and responding to incidents of workplace discrimination, which is then properly communicated, maintained and followed, but let's not forget to ensure the policy is reviewed annually. Not only that, they have a responsibility to encourage diversity and inclusivity, promoting open communication and providing opportunities for employees to share their thoughts and foster a culture of respect and equality, to encourage gender equality and tackle the gender pay gap and occupational segregation, creating opportunities for women and members of less represented and more vulnerable groups to advance in leadership and support their career development, to promote work-life balance for all, to promote empathy and understanding, while recognizing and addressing unconscious biases that contribute to a culture that enables harassment by providing training on such matters. Employees too have their roles and responsibilities. The employees are entitled to rights such as recruitment and selection decisions based on merit and not affected by irrelevant personal characteristics. Work free from discrimination. The right to raise issues or to make an inquiry or complaint in a reasonable and respectful manner without being victimized. Remove themselves from a work situation, which they have reasonable justification to believe presents an imminent and serious danger to life, health or safety due to discrimination-based violence and harassment, without suffering retaliation or other undue consequences, and the duty to inform management. Reasonable flexibility in working arrangements, especially where needed to accommodate their pregnancy and health conditions, immediate family responsibilities, disability, religious beliefs, or culture. But employees also have responsibilities such as observe the regulations in this policy, avoiding gossip and respecting the confidentiality of complaint resolution procedures, treating all with dignity, courtesy and respect, refrain from any act of discrimination towards other individuals. The above is not an exhaustive list as it is not possible to list all the circumstances. What do you do if you witness or suspect someone of violating the discrimination policy? MEF recommends the following procedure: speak with your supervisor, line manager, or contact human resources or legal and compliance executive. Once informed, supervisor, line manager, or human resource or legal and compliance executive is required to submit a report within 24 hours of any violation or suspected violation of the discrimination policy to the human resource or legal and compliance manager. The employee can also directly go to anyone they feel comfortable with. Victim should also note that he or she can lodge the complaint outside of the company pursuant to Section 69F of the Employment Act 1955. If the person accused of discrimination is your immediate supervisor or line manager, you may submit your complaint directly to the human resource or legal and compliance executive or manager to handle the complaint. If the above said options seem difficult or not appropriate given the sensitivity of the situation, the employee should contact the general manager or submit the complaint via the company's whistleblower policy or company's complaint grievance channel to bring up the complaint. You are not obliged under this procedure to complain directly to the offending individual. Human Resource or Legal and Compliance Department will thoroughly investigate all reported suspected violations of this policy. For each reported violation, a separate investigation officer or team will be formed. The investigating officer or team cannot include any individual who has or is likely to have conflict of interest, or would otherwise be unable to approach the matter with fairness and independence. When a designated person receives a complaint of discrimination, he or she will have to immediately record the dates, times, and facts of the incidents, ascertain the views of the victim as to what outcome he or she wants. Ensure that the victim understands the company's procedures for dealing with the complaint, discuss and agree the next steps, either informal or formal complaint, keep a record of all discussions, respect the choice of the victim. Ensure that the victim knows that they can lodge a complaint to the Labour Department under Section 69F of Employment Act 1955. If the victim wishes to deal with the matter informally, the designated person will facilitate a discussion between both parties to achieve an informal solution which is acceptable to the complainant. Victims may seek the assistance of a trade union representative to facilitate an amicable solution. If the complainant wishes to make a formal complaint or if the informal complaint mechanism has not led to a satisfactory outcome, an investigation will ensue. Raising a concern in good faith will not expose the person who raised it to retaliation. Any concern reported in bad faith may result in disciplinary actions as per the company's disciplinary policy. The investigation team will either begin by individual meetings with complainant, the accused and other individuals who may have relevant information, and/or reviewing documents submitted by the complaint. An opportunity for all involved to be heard will be given. The investigation will be conducted promptly, thoroughly, impartially, and in as confidential a manner as is possible consistent with proper investigation of the complaint. the interview with parties will be conducted separately. At the conclusion of the investigation, the investigating officer or team shall decide whether discrimination occurred, provide recommendations if any, and produce a report. If discrimination occurred, the accused will either face disciplinary action, which may include summary dismissal. If they are from a different employment entity, these actions will be requested of their employer. The company shall inform the complainant or the accused of the outcome of the investigation and, in general terms, of any measures taken to correct the discrimination. The company will take all possible steps to ensure that the employee is no longer be subjected to the discrimination. No discrimination found will require no further action. But you might be wondering what happens if someone makes a false accusation. It is a violation of this policy for anyone to make a false accusation of discrimination which is found untrue, and/or otherwise unsupported by facts after investigations. Such complaints which are found to be frivolous, vexatious or scandalous may be investigated and may lead the company to institute disciplinary process against the complainant. Types of punishments for discrimination may include dismissal without notice, downgrading or demotion, or any punishment which the company deems just and fit, and where the punishment of suspension without wages is imposed, it shall not exceed a period of 2 weeks as per Section 14(1). See Employment Act 1955, or they may receive a verbal or written warning. No one is allowed to retaliate against those who provided information or cooperate proactively with the discrimination investigation. Termination, demotion, withholding of promotion or other financial incentives, failure to invite an employee to a meeting, refusal to authorize a training or travel. Harassment, bullying or violence, or discrimination, are all considered acts of retaliation by the alleged perpetrator. All the process involved in a discrimination investigation is to be kept confidential. Discussing the complaint before and after it has been resolved is also prohibited. Every employer-employee in Malaysia is responsible for creating a healthy and inclusive workplace. Discrimination is prohibited by law and should always be taken seriously. This video is produced by the Malaysian Employers Federation, MEF, in collaboration with the International Labour Organization, ILO, with funding from the European Union. The responsibility for opinions expressed in this video rests solely with the producer, and does not constitute an endorsement by the ILO or the European Union.